It seems like it was just yesterday that we were opening up the HTC Vive, looking at all of the stuff inside of it and being completely unable to use it due to lack of a computer. However, thanks to the YouTube channel Skargan and their gaming PC, we now have the power for this. So we've spent the last 2 or 3 days trying it on, playing all the games that came with it, playing the free games that are available in the store, and now we have a bit of a first impressions review that we can do of it, now that we've actually used it instead of just looking at it. The very first thing that we had to do was set it up, which meant turning a normal suburban living room into a large open space. The space that we ended up with was about 6.5 by 11-ish feet, which that's not a lot of space, but it's enough space that you're probably going to need to dedicate an entire room to it. So we have tripods on either end of the room, we've got the base stations up there, we've got an entire room that got transformed into VR room. VR studio, that's what it is, it's a studio. The setup was actually pretty easy. As long as you have enough AC adapters. You need about 5 open power outlets, not to mention the computer on one end. But once everything's plugged in and you launch Steam VR, it actually grabs onto everything pretty clearly. Pro tip, if you can't get your controller to be recognized, you have to hold both of the buttons on the front and just hold it until the blue light turns green, and then you're good. We didn't know that, and so we ended up doing all of the initial setup with one controller, which you only need one controller until you go to play any of the games, then it expects you to have 2. You might be wondering where he came from. This is the person running the Skargan account, which I guess makes him the channel, Skargan. He also tried it on. I'm gonna finish talking about the setup and then we'll go through everything. You need to have Steam installed on your computer, which pretty much everybody does at this point. Anybody with a computer has Steam. And once you plug in the headset and all of that, Steam itself will walk you through everything else. There's not really any advanced setup that needs to be done. Is this?
Not really. It's all kind of plug and play, really.
I mean, there's lots of plugging before you get to the playing.
You gotta get your plug on.
Pretty much the only aspect of
setting it up was an issue with the audio that we had. Be it my ignorance, my computer's setup, or whatever it might have been, we had difficulties getting a headset to work with the headset.
Yeah, we got the sound to play, like sound through the speakers, but no matter what we did, it did not want to send sound to the actual headphone port in the headset itself. And we tried all of the different options available to us. We tweaked it and played with it, and at no point did it behave the way that we wanted it to. But we were still able to hear the sounds, we just weren't able to hear the sounds the way that you were supposed to. And maybe somewhere between here and there's going to be a minor update that magically fixes it, but for how smoothly everything else went, this one part we just couldn't.
Did you guys ever consider that it wasn't the audio port?
The plug fit.
It fit.
Yeah, and then we took it out, we put it back in, it kept on fitting.
I mean, it came with short earbud thing, so
yeah, like
unless they expect you to like duct tape your music player to your face, it's not really long enough for anything but the headset.
The regular computer speakers, you just
tape them.
So that's about all that you need to do for the setup. You just need to have a room cleared and everything plugged in. And once you do that, Steam itself will walk you through, and then you're ready to put on the headset and actually start using it, which is what we did. And now, detailed comparisons of every single aspect of using it.
How did you feel about the appearance of the headset, and how did you feel about how it looked on you?
It looks like a giant bug. Like there's no way around that. Like it's got the little laser sights in it. You're gonna look like a spider. Like a giant spider. Plus it sticks out from your face like this much. About.
You're gonna be a good looking plastic spider.
Other than the spider bits, good looking. Underneath and above, just
Kind of like Batman, good looking. Shannon.
Spider Batman. That's
George
it.
Clooney Batman, not, what was it? Val Kilmer that ruined
Val
Batman.
Kilmer Batman.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is what... Oh man, that's... Spider-Batman. Bat Spider-Man.
Spatman.
So, how does it look is the question. I'm not sure if it looks good or bad because everything about it is functional, but like aesthetically, you're gonna look kind of goofy. There's like literally no way around brick to the face.
Not really.
Brick on the face, not...
Yeah.
You're putting it on wrong if you have brick to the face. Brick on the face.
Just gonna wear my Vive now.
And you're gonna have like straps in your hair. So the straps honestly seem less well designed maybe than the... I think less engineering went in the Velcro.
Yeah. The first thing that I noticed after my first more than 5-minute time wearing it for the initial couple of hours we used it is suddenly my hair was like twisted to the left and forward, because after extended use without adjusting, the Vive just seems to kind of pull down and at an angle depending on how you move your head.
And so you'll get a little spoiler like right here. Which, I mean, sometimes it happens anyway. So if you're one of those people who just always has the hair sticking up, you're probably not going to notice a difference. Oh, sometimes when you use it, you will get the gasket print as well. But that's not how you look when you're using it. That's how you look when you're done using it.
Yeah, so if you've got to use it like real quick and you're just like, I need some VR, man, I'm jonesing
Need some
for
VR
it.
before I go to work.
Yeah. Do it with enough time for your face to be
Just,
normal.
yeah,
'cause
decompress.
People are going to be confused.
Why were you wearing ski goggles before you came into work?
And I don't wear it super tight, so don't say that I just had it on too tight. I didn't, because it slid around and still leaves an awkward imprint. So call it what you will, it leaves an imprint. So
You'll look funny while, you'll look funny during, you'll look funny after. But it's all functional, so I guess it doesn't really matter how it looks because you can't see yourself.
How did you feel about the image quality or the field of view?
it was great.
What he means by that is it was entirely functional. It was workable. It was acceptable. All those things you say when it's not bad, but it's also...
Have you ever sat way too close to your monitor? Don't say you haven't, because you have. That's kind of what it's like. Granted, it's got a 1440p cell phone size stuck to your face. 1440p may not be enough, but you'll be glad it's not 4K because it would be really much more expensive.
And it'll probably be like all hot next to your face too. Just because it's warm enough as it is.
Yeah, you get it. It gets hot and heavy.
Because 1440p I think is like 20% more than 1080p. So there's your frame of reference. 20% denser than your TV in cell phone on your face. But the image quality is always a little bit fuzzy. Like there's, even when you adjust it, you move it around in your face, it's always not quite high definition.
I wouldn't say beer goggles, but I will say slight tunnel vision.
Because the field of vision goes out to about here, meaning that it does fill most of what you're looking at, but there's definitely noticeable black around the outside. It's probably, what, like 2/3 of your total vision that it covers. So depending on how sensitive you are peripheral vision wise. Like if I was wearing the headset and he was sitting there, I would not be able to see him. The vision would probably cut off here.
Adding to that, one thing that I will say is someone that wears glasses all the time versus someone that's not, 2/3 of mine is already covered by something, and I'm not used to looking outside of it. So what he's saying about the peripheral vision thing, I didn't notice a lot of it because I already don't look outside of a
So
small
you're
area.
already just
Yeah,
focusing.
I'm forward vision only.
And once I got used to doing that, just always looking to the middle, after using it for a while, you get used to using your head to look around instead of your eyes. And once you do that, the actual size of the field of view doesn't matter as much. And since it's sharpest in the middle anyway, you're going to be getting the best results by looking in the place that minimizes the field of view issue. But there's no getting around the image quality being less good than it could be. Some long spaces. Good. Could be.
So we've already touched on this a little bit, but how did you guys feel about the audio features?
Well, allegedly it has stereo sound. If we could have gotten it to work, I'm sure they would have been great.
Yeah.
About the only audio features it has is headphones.
Yeah, that's really pretty much what you see is what you get. Plug in your headphones to the back, assuming that it's a port for plugging headphones into, because it's the right size. It makes sense. Came with the earbud thing that's yay long. If you can get it to work, I'm sure that it's amazing and the sound will follow around like it should. But unfortunately, we were only able to get sound through my speakers and subwoofer setup. So all the sound was always over there, even if you were looking over there or over there or over here or anywhere else. That's pretty much all you got.
It's supposed to have dynamic surround sound. Instead, we just got loud sound from one direction, which makes it hard to say how good its built-in audio features.
And then the one guy left the direction, and then there's like other guys in the band still.
Now they all have solo careers. This is
They're
a
not as
metaphor for the fact that the speakers are spread around.
Yeah.
There's
only 3 of them over there now. It's missing something now.
One of them is the cute one. That one's the one that's closest to the monitor.
Yeah, he gets the rear probe up against it like that.
There's nothing else to say about the audio features.
No, the audio, yeah, that's pretty much it.
How was the head tracking speed and accuracy?
I had no complaints.
None at all. I was trying to create a blooper reel. I just did that. But we're going to keep using it anyways. As soon as you move your head, the world moves with you. There's really no noticeable latency unless you're one of those weird people that's like, I need 144 hertz refresh rate all times or else I'm going to explode. You won't, I promise. You won't notice the latency at all. You probably won't even really think that there is any, because like even if you move the controllers, you see them in the world in the games, you don't notice. You move your hand, the controller moves with it. There is no noticeable amount of lag between you moving and it reacting.
And we didn't try to screw it up, because I'm sure we could have if like we had just like up and down, but at no point did we. I mean, as long as it has a good connection between the 2 base stations, which it should if you've mounted them correctly or even halfway correctly. We mounted them halfway correctly, but it's fine as long as it's set up.
Don't walk in front of it when
yeah.
people are playing, because it's going to trip them the heck out.
But that's not really a fault of
No, it's
the
not,
headset.
but it's very funny.
When the headset is working as advertised, it works as advertised. Yeah,
Yeah.
seems...
There was only like once or twice where this tall person would stand over by one of the sensors and suddenly my hand in the virtual world would float away. Just like a YouTube poop video. It would just...
But even when the hands lost tracking, it didn't really lose tracking with the head.
Yeah, the head was always fine, which I'm assuming is because the head actually has
Sensors
in it
Sensors
versus
everywhere.
being sensed by something else.
So I guess the summary answer to that is basically 0 problems with head tracking, head speed. Like, unlike the audio port, it worked like from beginning to end. No issues. Then again, we didn't try to break it.
No, didn't really want to. It's kind of expensive.
It is expensive. Once the prices come down, we'll do some torture testing.
Yeah, it's like those people that went out and bought a PS4 or like an Xbox when they were new and broke it and just like smashed it, and all the disappointed people in the crowd are like, no, and they're like, look at all this money I just wasted for a reaction video. I said it. Fuck, we're gonna get sued because I said reaction.
No,
Sorry.
react is a bad
Oh,
thing. Yeah, anybody
you just said it.
Yep. Anyone
Fuck.
can have reactions. Nobody else can react.
They actually removed their hold on that trademark, so
Oh, good.
you can use that word as much as you'd like.
So,
I was having a horrible react to that.
a horrible react.
Yeah.
Copyright shun to that. Head tracking's good.
It works.
Yeah. Are we live?
What are your thoughts on the motion controller quality?
Like build quality or trekking?
Either one is fine.
They're super funny looking.
They are. I want to go get one, but I'm too lazy.
Wait, it's coming, it's coming,
They're
it's
running
happening!
a train on that controller.
Look at this. Accuracy-wise, it's actually pretty much perfectly represented, like on screen. Because like if you had two of them and you move them together, like even on screen, like they track perfectly to the point where you can know when they're going to click together. Like even when you're not looking at them. And the shape and everything is all perfectly shown on screen when there's nothing blocking the tracking station. And quality-wise, like there's only a couple of buttons. The trackpad seems accurate.
I mean, it does seem accurate. When you have it on, and it's a controller in the virtual game, when you're tracking on the pad, there's a white dot that indicates where you're actually tracking, so you know. So it's like, oh no, where is my thumb at? If you can't tell by touching it. Some people don't have a sense of feel, but if they do, you don't really need it. But it does track very well. You can make accurate circles, and you can tell which direction you're going to push if you click it.
You can't get over the shape. Like it's... Like I don't...
Donger.
That's what the headset's for. I've said this before. The headset's so you can't see what you're holding because you really forget about how big it is when you're actually using it as something in the game. But accuracy-wise, there's nothing wrong with it. I think there is actually one problem, which is these buttons down here. There's no easy way to press them. Like you're holding it normally, you kind of have to curl in a finger or... Okay, yeah, you have to curl in a finger. Which you can get used to, but it's always a little bit awkward. Yeah, it works great when it's in the game. Most of the time. Again, assuming someone doesn't walk between you and the base station. If that happens, the controllers are normally the things that suddenly go... and then snaps back. The headset doesn't have issues, but the controllers were the only real thing that we had tracking problems with.
When the stations were being blocked by something.
Yeah. When the stations could see it, it worked.